Son of a bitch. I lost everything. I'd like to start out by telling everybody who watched the really long, almost 2-hour video that just came out about the Camaro. It did really well in the first couple days, and you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for checking it out. I hope you like it. I can't do those videos all the time, but I do have a couple in mind. But it was a good experiment, and I enjoyed it kind of being a longer video. Hopefully you guys did too. You never know what it's going to work for some people and what's not going to work for others. But thank you guys. That was a lot of editing, a lot of good times. So, and if you did see it, you can tell that I drove it, and after I drove it, it got a little bit better. However, these brakes on this thing, they're still terrible. And I have not even registered the car yet to drive it anymore because they're that bad. So I have a feeling it's only the rear brakes working. I don't think the front brakes are working. And I think the master cylinder is it's just no good. I don't think the master cylinder is any good. So at minimum today, I'm going to take that master cylinder off. So I'm not exactly sure what this, well, I'm tripping on things. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do today for this whole video. We may stop at the master cylinder and jump onto something else like S-Box, or I'll even go over some things that we were doing on Gramps, because we actually worked on that off camera. But my main focus right now is I'm going to pull this master cylinder off, and if I can tell that it's leaking out the back and it's been leaking into the brake booster, that's probably where I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to order an aftermarket master cylinder and brake booster to set up on this car, because I have planned for this car to be a good all-around car. But if I can spend $50 and fix this for a little while so I can drive it and kind of just enjoy it for some of the fall until I get some money saved up to do the other stuff, that would be optimal. That way you get to enjoy it a little bit, but I can't drive it like it is. So it just all depends on what status the master cylinder is in. So I'm gonna quit babbling. Let's get this master cylinder off. Okay, well, if you guys have seen me work on brakes before, you're gonna hear my spiel that I don't like line wrenches. So if you guys are saying you should use a line wrench, I disagree. I like regular my old Craftsman regular wrenches, because I feel like it flexes a whole lot less on the open inside than a line wrench does. So that's my 2 cents on that. There is that. I don't want it to leak too much. What size is this? It doesn't fit great on that. I don't think it's a 1/2 inch. It's not. Let me go try I think a 14 millimeter is a little smaller than a 9/16, or it might be the other way around. But I don't want to round it off. I don't have to. Yeah. That one fits a little better. There it goes. Didn't have to use a vice grip, so that's good. That's real good. In an ideal situation, you would get off of there. In an ideal situation, I guess you would suck the fluid out of the master cylinder, but I don't have a turkey baster out here anyway. So, oh well, it is what it is. Oop. I'm trying to make the least mess possible. Yeah, check that out. Super dry. nice and wet. That would be cause for concern. We got a little bit of rust in here, but I don't think it was leaking, which is a good thing because that means that that's probably still okay. Now, the other thing I'm going to do, or at least I was thinking about it, was pulling this out and cleaning it all off. I don't know if I want to do that now. Now let me fart with this for a minute and see how hard it is to get the lines off. If they're too hard, I'll leave it alone. But after some persuasion with some fire and some vice grips, I got all the lines loose. Except for this little guy here, which I don't know what he is. He's pretty tiny. Hey, he came off. Hallelujah. Come on now. I gotta get this off here. I don't have the faintest idea how to do. There it goes. All right. All right, the first thing I want to do, I'm just going to look at this guy. I'm going to clean him up in a minute, but I wanted to see, this is the sensor for the brake line. And if it's bad, or not bad, sorry, if it's, the prop valve has like a safety check valve, and if it's moved, it'll ground this guy. And when it grounds it, it turns on the check engine light, or brake light, I should say. And I wanted to look and see if this valve has been moved to prevent anything from going to the rear or the front brakes, because there's a valve in here that'll move back and forth from my understanding. And when it does, this little pin gets pushed up. And when it gets pushed up, it'll ground, and then it'll turn the light on in your car. I don't think this one, it's really hard to see. I can't show you guys, but I do not think this one is moved into the wrong location. It looks okay, I think. So I think I'm just going to clean this guy up, run up to the parts store, get a master cylinder, and we're going to throw it all back together and see if that does our job. So yay! All right. Well, howdy guys. I'm not sure where I left off. I've had a couple things to do last couple days. I haven't worked on the car much, but what I was doing recently is I cleaned up the junction block / proportioning valve. Got it all cleaned up. I got some of these lines back on the best I can. And I think we're gonna throw about $75 at this thing and see if it fixes it. So I bought a new master cylinder, and I think you guys were aware I was going to do that. But check this out. I'm not sure you guys are gonna be able to tell. You're not holding it like me, but this is like a typical GM master cylinder from the 70s, 80s. Even 60s, but this one is a brand new one from Brake Best, which is an O'Reilly brand. This one right here. This dude's aluminum, which is really interesting because most of the time this style is a cast iron master cylinder. So with it being an aluminum master cylinder, it shouldn't rust, but it does seem like it hasn't been sitting on the shelf for a very long time. So maybe that's a good thing, because sometimes these older parts do sit on shelves for a long time, then they wind up dry rotting their seals and stuff like that. So I'm going to do the fun stuff and bench bleed this guy and get ready to throw it on the car. And then there's going to be a lot of bleeding, a lot of air in the system. Let me bench bleed this master cylinder, get it thrown on, pump it a couple times, make sure I don't have any leaks, and we'll go from there. Forgive me, my battery is dead, but we got it all done. We got it installed. Nothing's leaking so far. Brakes are bled front and back. And I'm going to take it on a little test drive. Now, it's not legal, so I'm just going to go around the block. So, you know, I'm not going to take you guys with me yet. I plan to maybe have it legal tomorrow if this works. So, we'll see how that goes, and I'll report back. I'm back. It was a quick test drive, and it sucked because nothing's better. However, it is a day or two later, and I think I know what's wrong. So, I'm pretty confident that there's something preventing the fluid from hitting the front brakes like it should. It kind of feels like I only have rear brakes. And maybe the front brakes are suggestive, but like it's actually worse now than when it was in the middle of not having brakes at the beginning. Got better, now it's worse again. It's a long story, but I'm pretty confident that all that valve that I cleaned up and everything is plugged up or something. And here is why. Because I bought another one, and I have it in here somewhere. Now, do this at your own discretion. You probably shouldn't do this, but when I blew through the other one, I could blow through this right here, which is the rear. No problem. It blows through pretty good. But when I blew through the front brakes, which is this hole, and this hole, I had a lot of resistance. But now when I blow through it, there's hardly any resistance. And I can't really show you the difference because the other one's still on there. And it's also subjective. But I did feel like the other one was plugged up in the front, like it should be moving much more air, and it wasn't. And I'm pretty sure that's my issue. However, since I bought this from Summit Racing, I want to say it was $16. I don't know. I'll look. They also had a set of front calipers that were pretty cheap, on sale. I think they were $29 a piece. And these are AC Delco Reman calipers. So, I'm going to do all this over again with the valve, which is going to be fun. These are new brake pads. This is a set of copper washers, which I probably need for the calipers. But yeah, so I bought a bunch of parts. So, let's throw some more parts at it. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is going to work because that brake valve is pretty, what do you call it? Enthusiastic. I'm enthusiastic about that, or I'm excited or confident that seems like it's going to be a problem. So I got to do the whole valve over again. I'm not going to bore you guys with that. And one thing I will say is when I do it this time, I'm going to put these two little plugs that came with the master cylinder in the master cylinder so we don't lose our fluid and we don't lose our, we don't get air in the master cylinder itself. I can't talk well today. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so let me change all that out, and then I'll get the front jacked up, and then we'll probably put a caliper on each side, and I need to go look and see if I have some more brake fluid because I think I'm low. But yeah, I just gotta throw that back on, throw calipers on, re-bleed it, and then we'll go for another test drive. The new valve is on. I had to make a new line, which you can see is expertly done. Don't worry, it still flows. It just looks like it's pinched off. But I got that done. This was leaking here, but the new valve is on. It's not leaking anymore. This is all pretty much temporary. I don't plan on keeping this set up for a while. There's a lot of awesome brake options for these cars. And so I will be changing the master cylinder out and to a dual diaphragm booster, which is going to be smaller in diameter. It's a little longer, but it's also flat instead of being at an angle, which is always kind of weird that these cars are at such an angle. I guess it has to do with the brake pedal. But now I'm going to pull off the calipers. I'm going to put my rebuilt AC Delco calipers on. I bought all this stuff at Summit Racing, believe it or not. Pretty cheap. Like I said, these were $30 a piece, but they have a $16 core charge that I have to send back. So I got to remember to do that. But everything's here. There shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then I got to bleed the system again. So that's what I'm going to do. A couple bolts, a couple brake pads down there. We should be golden. All right. Okay. Now, all I gotta do is try to get this hose off and on the other one. I tried to do it this way to prevent making a gigantic mess. We're gonna see how that goes. Making a mess. Son of a bitch. I lost everything. Well, good news, I got the line on there. Bad news is I made a mess. But it should have bled some of the line, so that's good. That one's done. I'll go do the other side. Do my bleeding procedure, and then we'll know if this thing is fixed or not. I think it's going to be fixed. Well, this should be interesting. I think I've got a short-term solution for a long-term problem. I'm not sure you can call it a problem. It's just a matter of taste, I guess you could say. But here's what we got going on. You guys may have seen this car in the background. This is my 1963 Bel Air two-door post. It's got a little 283 in it that runs like a top and like always runs. Like I can let it sit for a long time and it'll still fire up, no problem. Idle, whole 9 yards. A little 4-speed in it, but the car needs some work, and I've kind of been at a juxtaposition on this car because I'm not exactly sure the direction I want to take it. I'd say I'd have a love-hate relationship with this car, but I do love it and I don't hate it. But it's a platform that's kind of hard to do what I want to do with it. And that's actually why I bought the Camaro, because the Camaro, the aftermarket's plentiful for it. I've been working with Dodge Dakotas for a long time, and I have learned that when the aftermarket doesn't quite have what you need, it makes it very hard to do what you want to do. And there's all kinds of aftermarkets for this. So I bought the Camaro to do what I can't do with the Nova. And the Nova, if y'all don't know, this is my 68 Nova. It's a real SS. And it's unrestored. It's been painted once, not great. So the paint's not awesome on it, but it's a absolutely rust-free, always Texas car. It has legitimate 80,000 miles on it. So it's a great car. And because of its heritage and its condition, I can't really modify that car. I want something that I can put a modern powertrain in, modern transmission, newer brakes, newer style suspension, make an older car drive like a newer car. And that's why I bought this Camaro. The Bel Air, you can kind of do that with, but it's a much larger car. It's not necessarily heavier though, but it's a much larger car. But it's got the X frame, and the things that take this car to the next level are not cheap. They're very expensive. And for a while there, I've been wrestling, do I bag it? Because I've never had a bag car, and now I kind of want one for some reason. Or do I just get it on a good style suspension? The problem is it kind of needs to be gone through. It needs a full front end. It needs some power steering. I'm tired of wrestling with that steering wheel. And quite a few things. So it's kind of just been sitting until I can figure out what I want to do with it. I have a feeling this is going to be my longer project because it needs paint. It needs a little bit of rust fix. Not much. This is also California and Texas car. And I want this car to be like a really nice cruiser, 75 mile an hour in the freeway, comfortable, float down the road, air conditioning kind of car. So like, anyway, this is a long way about saying that I'm not driving this car as much anymore. So I'm going to take these 17-inch wheels that are on this car and see if they will bolt up to the Camaro, and vice versa. I'm going to take these American Racing Daisies that are kind of date the car. I'm going to put them on this one. And I'm going to do that for a couple of reasons. One, I think the 17s are going to look better on this car. Two, I want to check the fitment of these wheels, because if the back spacing works, that on this car and the back of this car, because if y'all can see, that wheel sits very far in. If the back spacing works, these are 15x8s, it's 15x7s. I kind of want to order some steelies, some steel wheels for this car. So if I know that I can figure out the back spacing and it's happy, that'll accomplish something on this car, and then I can see this car with a set of 17s on it and change the stance of it. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to take me quite a bit to get done. So be patient and we'll see how this goes. Well. It was a little dicey there for a minute. I didn't know if I was going to get that wheel to fit in the tub. So I'm going to take a pause and show you guys all that. I had to let the air out of the tire to get it up in the wheel well. I didn't really want to disconnect the shock. But if you look in there, I don't have much room. It will turn. It's not rubbing at the moment. I do have the suspension on it. But it's ½ inch or less. So it's about perfect if you ask me, as far as the way it looks, because it's as far out as you can possibly get it. But it's close. So if I were to run these for a long time, or similar wheels, I definitely need to pound a little bit of that wheel well out, because there's like some ridges in there. It's not just like the wheel lip. In fact, the wheel lip is all the way out here. So there's some structure in there that would need to be kind of pounded flat. But not bad. So I'm going to do the other one and keep going on this. I think we're going to be okay. We're not rubbing on anything underneath. We have plenty of clearance when it comes to the inside. So that's something. I'm kind of excited to see these wheels on this car. It might fit it a whole lot better. consider this a win, kind of win. I think that they actually kind of fit better on the opposing cars. So, without further ado, here is the Bel Air. On the daisies, 15 by 8s in the rear, 15 by 7s in the front. I need to measure the back spacing because it's just about perfect. So I am going to use this setup to order a set of steel wheels for this thing, and I'm going to put the hubcaps on it, and I think it's going to look awesome. I might go with a 17, but I still like the taller tire in the back and a little bit less tall in the front, although I wish these were still a little taller. But it looks way better. The wheel comes out way further. Those other wheels sit so far in on this car that they look a little funky. So they look great on the Camaro though. And I got these off of 1978's heaping pile of El Camino that I used to own. I just bought it as a parts car. The motor came out of that. It's actually in my Dakota. But yeah, it totally changes the look of the car. Helps out a ton. The rear's a little tall, so I was going to lower the rear at some point in time anyway, but I like this look a whole lot better. It kind of modernizes it a little bit, and I think it's going to really change up the car. I think it's going to be a lot more aesthetically pleasing. It already is, right? So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. I think the Bel Air is going to drive better. Those are some pretty light wheels, and the steering's probably going to be a little bit better with a little bit skinnier of a tire and a little bit more cushion. I remember before I put these 17s on it, I did have a set of steel wheels that I'm probably going to buy again. I probably shouldn't have sold them. But it was almost like it had power steering. It was so easy to turn. So I think that's going to make quite the difference. This is going to be a little bit more difficult to drive. And that's because this car has a 410 rear gear. And I think I have shortened the tire in the back, which is going to make it RPM a whole lot more than it did before. Which, oh well. These tires are old. They're going to work for a little bit. But I'm definitely not going on some long trips with them. I'm gonna have to put some tires on it. So when I do, I might get a little bit more sidewall on the back there, and then once we lower the car, it'll be a whole lot better. So I think that's gonna be it. Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. I can't believe I missed this. It's legal. I'm driving it on the road now. The brakes are not amazing, but they work pretty well. The camshaft in this thing has got a pretty large overlap, and I think that's why the brakes don't feel great. But they do the job. They stop the car, but they're not a long-term solution. I'm going to change to a smaller booster with a better aluminum master cylinder and all that at some point in time in the future. But it's on the road now. Now we're going to do some aesthetic upgrades to it. We're going to do some stuff in the front. I'm going to be on the lookout for a different hood, and we're going to go from there. So, yeah, kind of a 2-car in 1 upgrade, sort of, today. And I'm actually pretty glad the way it turned out. This is actually kind of a classic look. If I polish up those wheels, I bet I'll like them more. I do need to drive it a little bit, and maybe we'll do that on the next video. But this one, I think we're going to conclude. So that's a lot of brake work. Some wheel swapping, some changing of character on some things. It's kind of nice to have a couple vehicles that you can do that on. I got very lucky that those wheels fit in the back of the Bel Air. So does the Bel Air need drag radials? Absolutely not. Nope, not at all. It runs good. It's not fast, but it's a cruiser. But hey, maybe it'll go on the freeway a little bit better now too. Actually, it already goes on the freeway pretty well. But yeah, I'm excited for both cars to kind of look like this. And I hope you are too. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming along. If this is your first time, I've got a 2-hour video on this from when I bought it a little over a month ago, almost 2 months ago, and went through the whole thing to get it on the road. It had been sitting for a while, and it's a great car. I bought it from a great guy named Lanny. Lanny's a good dude. And he took care of this car for a long time, and then it sat for a little bit and needed to be refreshed, and we did that. And so I have a long format video. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. I'm sure it's in my playlist. And yeah, we again, if you are new, what I'm getting to is please consider subscribing and hanging out with us. We would love to have you hang out with us, and I try to interact with as many people that comment on here as much as possible. The channel's not that great, not that big right now, so I have the extra time to do it. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Other than that, check us out on Instagram and Facebook at The RacerX Garage. And you can check out some of our merch, like this shirt here. I don't know if I have this shirt here up yet. I will. But check that out, racerxgarage.com, and we'll see you next time. Until next time, y'all be good.